What's going on, y'all? It's J Smo Reviews here, back at it again with another video, man. Bringing you guys a little bit of general talk to get through the week, right? We're going to cover some topics here, but as you can see by the title, we're going to delve into some nonsense. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of dirt. Every once in a while, we dip into the cesspool. That is the battle rap drama that goes on between events. But I thought this one's a little more constructive. We can have a little bit of business talk, a little bit of, falling through matchup talk. We're going to talk in a bit about Queen of the Ring, some of the aftermath, not all the details because it was all too much for me. With some of the things that came out of that, my opinions on it. But, and even more importantly here, talk about K-Shine versus Brizz, the matchup falling through, which if you watch the channel, when I talked about the K-Shine announcement with Shadi Hora, I had said that it seemed pretty obvious that Brizz is this alleged op that fell through, and Shine has done a million hip-hop is real interviews in the last couple years, so if you haven't caught all of them or you got tired of hearing big moves are coming, not even mad at you, but he did do an interview with Rex where they kind of spoke on an opponent that fell through. We're going months back for this, and Rex made it painfully obvious. It was Brizz, you know what I'm saying, without saying his name. So I felt like this was almost like very, not known, I should say, but very out there, like easy to put together. But when you have Shine going on Hip Hop is Real and, airing out Brizz, which is really what this all turned into, of course, it's going to turn into a big topic. And originally, I was going to skip it because, got a numbers talk where Shine said they offered Brizz $50K and he ghosted. Then they offered him $100K and he ghosted, right? And the reason I didn't think it was too much to speak about is because this is no shocker whatsoever. And listen, respect to the elite performer Brizz was when he was in battle rap. If you ever see me, I did a golden years video on him. It was one of my first videos on this channel talking about some of his best years and performances in battle rap. If we ever are talking the history of battle rap, talk about battles he's been in, I show his catalog respect. But guys, as I have said also when I talk about Brizz's return, let it go. Let it go. He clearly does not want to return and actually step in the ring. And this is not just, coming down to the million over like the last 5 or 6 years, battles that almost happened. He's supposed to battle Mook like 3 different times and almost locked in on URL. Hitman, you know what I'm saying, on RBE, fielded calls elsewhere. Then he asks for money, then he doesn't need battle rap, but then he's always around battle rap. And what this all comes down to, and it's very easy to describe the lack of a Brizz return, right, is that he does not want to go on stage and face that angle. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really matter what other logic and this and that I hear. He does not want to go into what would be a big return, because it would be a big return, which he's not going to, but theoretically, if Brizz was going to return, it would probably be in a big building. We're talking 1,000 or more. You're going to want to maximize the return off of something like this. And he's going to hear probably all 3 rounds about getting punched, getting ran out of building, and then not returning to battle rap over the punch in front of 1,000-something people. Now you take away, just for a second, you know what I'm saying? I know it's battle rap. We've seen people go through worse. How Bill Collector returned after his situation was show outright. But like, just as a human, that doesn't sound very fun, does it, guys? Like going in front of 1,000+ people and just being, berated for this fight that happened. And should he have just returned way sooner? And would he have been okay? Is he going to be okay now facing the angle? Like, yes, life moves on, but it's very apparent he doesn't want to deal with it. And then you get into specifics that do become a little bit more hearsay, which I guess in a sense it's all hearsay, but it's very believable considering we're talking about Brizz Rawsteen here. But saying when Shine was like, oh, I can't wait to, return and show the people my craft. And Brizz saying, you're not nervous to return. Oh, you're going to try to kill me, right? But I don't think that is, like, too far from being a reality. I could see a world, because that is the energy that's been given off when Brizz starts here and then backtracks here that he's not going to battle, but then asks for money here. Now all of a sudden, he's going to catch Calico lacking in the Walmart. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is all over the place, and it's kind of the display of someone who is all over the place with their decision, with their love or not love, hate towards battle rap, whatever it is. But to me, it is no shocker that there's another Brizz plate here that we're talking about fell through. And apparently this wasn't even with the Power Network. This was with another network. We're going to talk about Shine a little bit here in a second too. But it's just one of those where, hey, quick reminder, let it go. He's not coming back. These are some of the biggest opponents possibly that could be offered. Some of the biggest opponents in like big spots. It's a Shine battle, which matches up perfect stylistically with Brizz Rawsteen on both of your returns. and you're sure that you were getting paid, 100 whatever, a high 5-figure amount, if not the 100K flat out, because he has been offered that before. And, no matter what the excuse is, it is the same thing every time with one common component, and he acts the same way nearly every time. This is no shocker here, and you won't, it's hard for me to take it seriously because we've done this 500 times, and I know some people, we have a hard time letting nostalgia go in battle rap, so just no one's going to let it go. I'm sure there's going to be another one, and we're going to talk about the other falling through plate, but, yeah, man, Brizz isn't coming back, and this is just another chapter in the very obvious Brizz is not coming back file. And as I said, we're going to double back to Shine just for a second, right? Because with State of Emergency is the name of the card, and the Power Network coming out with that big announcement with him and Shoddy, you would figure a lot of promotion would follow. It was dead silent for a week before I really saw either battler acknowledge it, and now you're starting to see Shine actually talk about it, talk about what the plans are, and he did another, of course, interview with Hip Hop Is Real that they're breaking down into 17 pieces, where he talked a little bit. In this most recent clip, he was asked by Knowledge, how is the Power Network going to change the game? What is it about? What's the difference here, right? And he went on to say a few things, talked about ownership, talked about creative freedom, right? But pretty much the first thing he led with, which I thought was very interesting, right? How is the Power Network going to change the game? Is that right now, as Shine said, the demographic is on YouTube. That is the main demographic for battles. However, now, with the Power Network, you can throw it on TV. You can open it on an app. Ain't no fucking way, man. After 3 years of arguments between Shine, URL, this talk about trapping the artist, right? Bad business has been thrown around, is the term thrown around out there, and mostly with the app, trapping the artist's footage, not giving them that exposure, right? You see the master plan here to escape this app was to wait almost 3 years and go make another app. It's when you see that quote at first or hear it, how are you going to change the game where you can open it in an app? You can't help but laugh a little bit at it, right? And it just goes to show it's another big question mark and a bit of a worry as we go down this journey of the Power Network and what this Shine return is going to look like, because we haven't gotten too much info. The promo has been very weird, right? Seeing Shine in that Power Network tee so far is the most promotion claiming of it that I've really seen so far. And what we know is that this event is you could buy it for $50 right now, but it's going to be pretty much $80 is looking like what the price this pay-per-view is going to be, more around the time of it. We know it's going to have some type of, it's going on an app, right, which is going to be $4.99. He said it's going to be a paid app, just like the URL experience, just like the iBattle experience. Granted, the lowest of those three amounts, app-wise. And also, it is occurring on New Year's, December 31st at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday. That's the info that we have going into this event so far right now. So I'm not going to say everything I feel right now, because next thing I really want to see is there's got to be some type of undercard, right? $80 pay-per-view for a one-off. I don't even know what I'll say if that's the situation, but I'm seeing a lot of promo of Zip 'em Up Gang, Shine's crew, mostly smaller talents under him that I think he's trying to build up, and you see names like Rubando, Henny number 3, these are some of the names promoted. If these guys pop up on the undercard, if this is what the undercard is made up of, we're going to have a much more extensive conversation about what is going on with the Power Network, but I had to add that because I saw that too, and the Shine and Brizz situation, although, obviously I gave you my pretty real thoughts about what the situation with Brizz has been for quite some time now, the Power Network has got a couple questions, to answer for itself on the actual event that they are going forward with. So, stay tuned for that. We are going to need more information on that very soon. And then I wanted to talk just a little bit here about a little bit of battle rap business, this fallout from the Queen of the Ring event. People wanting to know why Chef Trez and Miss Hustle didn't happen. They brought in, what did it turn into, right? People started pointing fingers. They wanted answers. So how do we answer this? We make spaces and point fingers at each other. Bulletproof strategy. Look, it's been working so great the last few years, hasn't it? So you got people airing out business, doing all this ridiculousness that is only going to really hurt. Like, who gains anything from this now? Because everyone doesn't want to be blamed so bad. Everyone makes each other look crazy, right? It looks like everybody's got a part in it. And it's annoying. There's really no other way to put it. I started to listen to some of the details of it last night, or I wanted to catch up, but way too much for me, and it just devolved into people screaming at each other through their phones. But there was just two small pieces of info that I wanted to take from it and talk about here. I saw Hustle's manager, Chris Petty, had said if you do not have the money to book a battle straight up from you, the league, if you're going to ask them to go get sponsors to make the battle happen, do not book that battle. I think that makes a lot of sense, right? And then, there's all these arguments about the details of the agreement, what they actually asked them to do, but both battlers did have to go out and get sponsors, right? And I am a believer, if you cannot book it straight up, even if it is a big matchup like that, you just let it go. Work within the confines of what you can financially work in, and if you can focus in on a little bit less of a name product, they still had a bunch of big names on that card, but if you can have a little bit less of that, but it means a sharpened product and not what this situation turned out to be, probably be better for the event, right? And then more importantly to me, the one thing that I took out of it is that Queen of the Ring did ask, knowing that Trez and Hustle wasn't going to go down, for nobody to mention it and stay quiet, so it could still be promoted as the main event and not happen. And listen, I get it. It's hard running a league, and I know Queen of the Ring, every event, usually they have it hard in terms of what the response looks like, the product, people kind of piling on it, but it's not good. You just can't do that. You just can't, and it's not okay. And other leagues do it, and it's definitely not okay with other leagues doing it. But now, specifically, you have the information leaking out because it's already a mess behind this. It's a mess in public in battle rap, which means it's double a mess behind the scenes. But you're not supposed to let that leak out, even if everybody knows it, right? You're not. So the fact that you could say for a fact, oh, they knew about it ahead of time, but they didn't want to announce so they could keep promoting it. It's dirt. It's dirt practice. It doesn't work anywhere else. It just commonly happens all the time here in battle rap. And I just can't speak down on that enough because let's be real, with Queen of the Ring, it's mostly core supporters if someone is going to buy it, right? It's with all kind of the critique that they've been through the years, right? On the product, on streams, on business with battles falling through. It's going to be really your core fans that are buying it. So even if Hustle and Trez falls off, like me, that was my favorite battle on there, it's people are probably still going to buy. I don't know how many people are like, oh, that was the only reason I was buying this card. They might be upset with it, but transparency, man. If somebody was already going to go buy prom night, I don't think it was a one battle thing that determined what they were doing. It was a support thing. So it's disheartening to hear that. In terms of all the other who's wrong, the sponsors, Hustle, Queen of the Ring, all that, who fucking knows? Everybody was just yelling at each other. But that one piece of info to me, especially as someone that does support a ton of events, that's frustrating. So that is my full thoughts here for the last couple days of topics. A little bit of nonsense, a little bit of junk food entertainment content for everybody. But as always, I want to hear in the comments section down below how you guys feel with Shine and Brizz falling through. I know we're beating a dead horse here with the Brizz return topic, but how do you feel about it falling through in this specific situation? And kind of more importantly to me, how are you feeling? Do you guys share some of these worries with the Power Network? Some of these things that we're peeping now with an app, network, you're just hearing that a million times to kind of overshadow a little bit of the question marks, that glaring question marks that are there regarding this league. So love to hear your thoughts on that. And of course, the Queen of the Ring thing is getting talked to death now, and I feel like it's just a matter of getting to the next event. Obviously, Black Ice is this weekend with 40 versus Vixen, with Hollow versus Ward. I'm very excited for that. So be expecting a recap for that event, night of, morning after. But if you have any thoughts on anything else left with this Queen of the Ring, please let me know. But it's been J Smo Reviews again, y'all. As I said, like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to catch you on the next one, man. Peace.